Welcome back to another round of playing the Wizards with myself, Saruman versus Radagast. Okay, so we're in the untap phase in Lorien, and I'm going to untap everyone except Ioreth. I'm going to leave her tapped because she's going to attempt to remove Dragon's Curse from Aragorn. Tap a Sage. Oh wait, first Aragorn has to face a corruption check. That's right. Okay, let's face it. It's at the end of the untap phase, so someone could tap to help him face the check. Ooh, do I want to do that? Pretty good chance he'll pass it anyways, but I sure would hate to lose him. At the same time, yeah, okay. Let's have Beorn tap to help Aragorn here. Okay, so he only loses on a 2. He rolls a 5. Okay, so he passes his corruption check, and now we're out of the untap phase, and we are in the organization phase, and Ioreth can tap to attempt to remove the card. Now, nobody can really tap to assist with this, and the roll has to be greater than a 6. So this is a little bit tricky. Let's see what happens. He rolls an 8. Okay, nice job, Ioreth. Okay, so we've dealt with that. I'm tempted to bring gambling in, and then the question is whether I leave these two older folks. I put Ioreth under him, and do I bring her along, or do I put these two older folks here? We may come back to Lorien, and because there aren't a ton of information sites in this area, and one that I'm thinking of is very close. Dimril Dale, that's a good one. Amon Hen is another one, which is pretty good. That's true. We could go back to Amon Hen. In which case, maybe it makes sense to bring them along. Okay, let's bring everyone along. But first I want to pick up the Rangers of Ithilien, because I need my Sage untapped in order to pull Reforging, and Ioreth is not untapped. Okay, so gambling comes in. Ioreth is under him. We have 3 unused general influence as it stands right now. Everyone else is going to stay in the same company configuration, and we're going to head to Henneth Anun, which is from the Woden Foothills, where Lorien is. It is Woden Foothills, Rohan, Anorian, and it's a little tricky to see, but there's actually a tiny gap between at Osgiliath where you can cross between Anorian and Ithilien, so we can get there in 4. Okay, Henneth Anun. The site path from Lorien is wilderness, borderlands, free domains, wilderness. So double wilderness, borderlands, free domain, heading to a border hold, leaving out of a haven, and we draw 2, our opponent can draw 2. Hema, and the Fellowship. And then on this side, Land Drake, and the Beornings. All right. Okay, so they are moving. They are not moving to one of the sites listed here. Maybe played key to Redhorn Gate. Yeah, they're not moving to any of these sites. So we can't play the Cave Worm. We can't play the Rain Drake because they're not headed to a ruin and lair. So our options are the Land Drake and the Light Drake, and we do have Dragon's Curse. We can try again. The Land Drake has the benefit of attacker chooses defender, and Yeah, the Light Drake does not have that. And so if we pulled the light, I can kind of assume that they're going to pull the Rangers with Aragorn, so they're trying to keep him untapped. So I can assume that Gambling, Éomer, and Théoden are going to be the ones to tap if I play the Light Drake. And just flat 3 on Éomer and Gambling has a pretty good chance of killing my Light Drake. Yeah, But if I throw it out there to get them tapped, then they can't tap to help Ioreth, and maybe we have a better chance of getting her with the Landrake. That's a thought. I do not want to just hand them marshalling points, however. So let's see. Yeah, 3 to beat an 8 is a pretty good odds. Ugh, jeez. 3 to beat 8, pretty good odds. I don't want to just hand them the marshalling kill points. Alternatively, I could just throw the Landrake on Ioreth. She's tapped, which means her prowess is going to be -1. If all these guys tap 1, that's 0, 1, 2. 2 to beat an 8. Yeah, 2 to beat an 8. That's not too bad. Not too bad. I just don't want to hand them points. If I had something to buff the Light Drake, I'd go for it, but let's do the Landrake. Attacker chooses Defender, and I am going to play this with Dragon's Curse. So Dragon's Curse does not depend on the strike being successful or ineffective or whatever. So, boom, that goes on Ioreth immediately, and then one strike, attacker chooses defending characters. Let's see how this plays out. Okay, and so as they suspected, we're going to tap some guys to try and help her. I don't know what else. They've played 2 of the 5 cards they could play, but I really want to keep Ioreth. I really do. Yeah. Why don't I leave a Théoden untapped? Alright, so Gambling brings her prowess to 0, 1, 1 to beat an 8. It's 1 to beat a 7, that's right. Dragon's Curse puts a -1 prowess modifier on that, so okay. 1 to beat a 7. I mean, sounds possible. Let's go for it. Okay, so Éomer and Gambling tap to help Ioreth with this strike. 1 to beat a 7. And she rolls a 4. Oh no. Ioreth is wounded. Okay, and then body check. 6. Okay, so she's wounded, but she's not, she survives. All right, let's head back over to the other side. Okay, and now we could play the Light Drake. And I think Théoden is still willing to tap to face a strike, but then they're either going to have to tap Aragorn or delay what they're going to do this turn. That said, if Aragorn and Théoden both tap, they are probably going to kill this Drake and get the marshalling point. Now that's a difficult decision. That is difficult. I'm not sure. What is the right move here? Yeah. Is it worth a marshalling point to delay them a turn? I mean, it could be. It could be. Because, let's see, if Aragorn were to not tap, he would go down to 3. Still pretty good odds. He might opt not to tap and still beat it. Yeah, okay, alright. Well, it's just not strong enough in the way they are at the moment. So I'm going to call that a success, and we have nothing else to play on them, so they arrive. Okay, and then we've arrived. Put Lorien back in our site deck, and we need to bring our hand back to 8. I don't think we need Hema at the moment, so we're going to discard Hema. Bring our hand to 8, and we have arrived at Anduin. We have 2 characters untapped, one of them being Aragorn. He is going to tap to play the Rangers of Ithilien. Okay, he has 1 unused direct influence, plus 2 from the Horn, so that's 3, plus 1 from being a Dúnedain, so that's 4. He needs to roll greater than a 7. He rolls a 4. Okay, so 4 plus 4 is 8. All right, 8 is greater than 7. Excellent. Okay, yes. All right. Certainly not a sure thing there, but he did it. Okay. So the Rangers of Ithilien are on side. And now we're at the end of turn phase, and we can discard 1 and draw up to 8. We're heading into their turn. All these seem pretty useful. These seem very useful for our next turn. So I'm going to just draw up to 8. All right, the Hallbrook of Brightmail. And back over here, okay. I don't know what they might get up to next, so... Celeborn. Celeborn is a tricky one at the moment because I just don't have the general influence to take him on. So we're going to discard Celeborn for now. And our own fellowship. Okay, excellent. Okay, so that is the end of the turn. Or that's the end of that, yeah, their turn. And so now we're back over here. Why isn't Beorn tapped? Okay. Well, he should have been tapped from the from bringing in the Woodmen. So let's untap him now. And we have something else to do. We can go pick up the Beornings. They are very close. So from the Woodman town in Western Mirkwood, we're 1 region away from the Anduin Vales, 1 region away from Beorn's house. But first, we're in the organization phase. Do we want to move anyone around? I mean, yeah, actually, I don't know why I put... Let's put Beorn. Beorn, okay, yeah, Beorn has a bonus towards the Beornings. And so let's put Bard Bowman under Erkenbrand. We are off. We're ready to go. So let's head to Beorn's house. And it is, the site path is Western Mirkwood, Anduin Vale, so wilderness borderlands. We're leaving out of a border hold, and we're headed to a freehold. So we can draw 1, and our opponent can draw 1. Okay, so let's do it. Fog. Host of Bats. So this card says that against each company, 1 orc hazard may be played that does not count against the hazard limit. Any character wounded faces a -1 body check modifier. And then there's an additional effects if Shadow of Mordor is in play. All right. So they're moving through borderlands, so we could get them with the Orc Raiders, but I think we're facing the same problem we had last time, which is that 4 strikes of 6 is not going to cut it against this high prowess party. Yeah. And and so I need buffs. I need to make these orc attacks stronger. So I think I'm going to tap Hormorath. and bring in 5 cards to my discard. Now I still have Mouth of Sauron in my hand, so I can put these 5 cards in my discard and then immediately start. Okay, so we're bringing in these 5 cards: Reaching Shadow, Doors of Night, Minion Stir, Muster Disperses, and Clouds. And I think we might bring... Okay, so I tapped Hormorath, and now I'm going to tap... Or I'm going to play... For my first hazard, I'm going to play the Mouth of Sauron. Is this the move? Maybe. Mouth of Sauron to bring Reaching Shadow in. That's 1. I'm going to play Reaching Shadow. That's 2. I'm going to play... I'm going to play Host of Bats. That's 3. I will play... let's play Orc Guard, because they're headed to the Anduin Vales, and Reaching Shadow says that any creature that can be played keyed to the Anduin Vales, played to a Shadowland can be keyed, played to the Anduin Vales. So 5 strikes of 8. And if they body checks are modified by -1, thanks to Host of Bats. And this card doesn't count against the hazard limit. Okay, so we're talking 5 strikes of 8. And we cannot play Fog because Gates of Morning is not in play. So 5 strikes of 8. Okay. I'm going to tap the Black Arrow to bring that down to 7. This is keyed to the Anduin Vales, so Erkenbrand can't tap his cloak to cancel the strike against him. So we're talking 7. Alright, we got to beat 7. It seems doable. Beorn is not going to tap. These other guys, the Host of Bats is making me think they've got something else up their sleeves, so I don't want to tap anyone who doesn't need to tap. 7. Who doesn't need to tap against 7? Okay, Gimli's staying untapped. He has a buff against orcs anyway. So Bard Bowman will tap. Erkenbrand, he'll go down to 2 if he doesn't tap. 2, I could play Risky Blow for Erkenbrand, that's true. And then Beorn, he's going down to 4. 4 to beat a 7. 2 to beat a 7. It's not amazing. Let's do that. Okay, so we've got 5 strikes. Beorn will not tap. Erkenbrand will not tap. Gimli will not tap. But Erkenbrand is going to play a Risky Blow. Take a Risky Blow. Now he's really going to have a terrible body check to make if he fails against this. I mean, wretched, like 5, 4, 4. He's dead meat if he doesn't pull this off, but I think he's got a good odds to do it. So let's start with Beorn. He's got 4 to beat a 7. He rolls a 3. Okay, so he's ineffective. Okay. Whew. All right, so we can't get the point from this no matter what. Erkenbrand has, I just said it, what? He's 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 to beat a 7. He goes 8, okay. Bard Bowman has 3 to beat a 7. He rolls a 3. Oof. He's wounded. Gimli, he has 2, 3, 4. 4 to beat a 7. He rolls a 7, okay. And Haldir has 4 to beat 7. All right, he has a 5. Okay, now we roll a body check for Bard Bowman. And he rolls a 10. Oy! Poor Bard. Bard is out. Okay, risky blow is done, and the Orc Guard is discarded. Alright, back over there. Nice. Okay, we took one of them out. Now let's do we want to try with the Raiders? We're gonna have 4 strikes of 6. And so, for example, Haldir will be at 3. Ugh. Not loving that. I'm not loving that. Okay. All right, we're going to call that a win. Okay, they've arrived. They've arrived. I was about to say safely. No, I don't think so. Wouldn't call that safely, but they've arrived. Okay, so we bring our hand back up to 8. Ooh, Narsil. And Houses of Healing. Okay. Okay, and we've arrived at Beorn's house. Okay. And we bring our hand back to 8. It is at 8. Great. So now Beorn will tap to play the Beornings. Attempt to play the Beornings. He has he has 2, 3, 4, 5. So he only loses on a natural 2. And he rolls a 10. Okay, so the Beornings come on side. Excellent. And now that taps the site, that taps Beorn, and now we're at the end of turn phase. And I need something to do, but I also probably will just go to Lorien next and pick up the belt and get Fellowship on going. And so, yeah, they are far away from where they need to be to play this, but that doesn't mean they will stay. They could go to Redhorn Gate, very feasibly, or the Gap of Eisen. Okay. I'm not sure. Let's just draw up. Valiant Sword. All right, so we do have something to do, actually. Other side? All right, we're heading into our turn with a ton of things to do. We've got the Hallbrook. We've got Narsil. We've got Reforging. This is excellent. We'll have Anduril on side very soon. That's going to be amazing. So I don't think I'm going to. Well, I could discard the Raiders. Honestly, this is not doing me a lot at the moment. I could also discard one of these. We're heading into our turn. We have the opportunity to play any number of these cards. So let's... I don't think we're going to... Let's discard the Houses of Healing. I know Ioreth's injured, but I don't have any reason to go to a freehold at the moment. So let's discard that and draw up. Orc Lieutenant. Okay. All right, and that's the end of the round.